Welcome to the ScaleNL Accelerator showcase of our East Coast 2023 cohort. I'm Camille.
And I'm Anaí.
And we'll be your hosts for today. Whether you're tuning in from your office or straight from the beach, we're happy to have you with us for the next hour. The ScaleNL Accelerator provides Dutch tech startups with the boost they need to competitively enter the US market from day one.
The 10 founders pitching today have been through the latest edition of our program, focused on the East Coast as they make real steps in the US market.
Let's kick it off with a word from our founder, Michael Doyes.
As founders, we know it's all about the team. We have a great team, and I'm really excited we managed to get this program going. So a big shout out to the team, Tasreen and Mart from our Boston office, Jorn and Zana from our New York office, Andy in London, Camille, Janet and Anahi from our Amsterdam office, and Kauter and Aisha from the San Francisco office. You did a great job. I call on the audience to look hard among the teams you're about to see today. Which ones can you help reach their business and innovation goals? And can you help one of them reach a new audience, a new customer, or a new investment? Now, don't be left on the sidelines. Get involved. Talk with the founders that catch your attention. Follow up to make something great. The network in this virtual room can actually be a driver for change. It's been a hectic and crazy last few weeks, but never waste a good crisis. Every economic downturn is a catalyst for entrepreneurs and innovation to blossom. Startup tech is about rejuvenation. The waves of innovation are like a fountain of youth, and we all need that to get where we want to be, quicker and for longer. The industry needs new business models. The old models are getting obsolete. Startup founders' destiny is not to create a gold rush though, but rather about understanding the changing behaviors and appetites. And it should be to create services that have a true and a lasting impact, improving people's lives, to address the challenges that a younger generation now faces. So teams, I give you all my love. To everyone, have a blast and enjoy the pitches of today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael. We'll keep this short and sweet today and get to the pitches shortly. Just a few things before we start. Throughout the show, you'll see a QR code up here on the screen. You can just scan it to request an intro to one or more of the founders. You can also interact or ask questions directly in the chat under the live stream. Our ScaleNL team and the founders are online and ready to answer.
On that note, we won't keep you waiting any longer. We're kicking things off with a company that will bring a new edge to heart health. Let's hear more about Happy Tech from Yosef Safri Harb.
My name is Yosef Safri Harb, and I'm the founder and CEO of Happy Tech. For months, doctors couldn't figure out why this patient's heart was racing. They spent over 12 months and 3 different medical devices to find out what the problem was, and they still couldn't figure it out. This patient is not alone. There are 50 million patients globally that suffer from a condition, heart condition, called atrial fibrillation, and 30% of them will go undetected. It is one of the leading causes of stroke and costs the US healthcare system $10 billion on a yearly basis. Access to the device is one of the limiting factors. You need the device the moment that you feel something. You don't always have access to the device, so your doctor or your hospital ships you the device, which takes anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 days, and then you have to send it back. It's difficult to scale, and it costs the healthcare system quite some dollars. Daily monitoring increases the chance of AFib detection, which will then lead to less hospitalization, less emergency room visits, and less cardiac complications, including stroke. The patient I was talking about is my dad, and I wanted to solve his problem. So I left my aerospace engineering job to focus on this problem, found some great cardiologists and partnered with to work on a solution that is accessible. And after 6 years of clinical studies and regulatory clearances, we found an easy solution. The answer lies in your pocket. Everybody with a phone can simply do this. By placing your finger on the camera for 90 seconds, we can highly accurately detect the presence of atrial fibrillation. Now everybody, including my dad, has a medical device in their pocket. This allowed my father to finally detect and manage his AFib. Since going live in 2020, we've collaborated already with more than 20 hospitals, and we've become one of the largest European digital health deployments, with over 200,000 people and 12,000 hospital patients. Together with an incredible team with over 100 years experience in medtech. And this is just the beginning. Because in 2023, we're going to be supporting the GPs, the general practitioners, and home patients. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're launching a 160,000 screening campaign of high-risk patients, identify the patients at risk of stroke, together with incredible partners in the Netherlands. Now, our next step is the FDA, and with it, unlocking one of the largest cardiovascular disease market. Because unfortunately, almost half of the American adults will have some kind of cardiovascular disease. And our goal is to provide access to care the moment the patient needs it, wherever they are. Because 80% of disease is preventable if detected timely and managed properly. And that's our goal, is to become the software medical device that can extend to many more disease areas, starting with AFib, and then tackling more, reaching over 500 million patients worldwide. And that's where I need your help. We're working to get closer to our mission every day, and you can play an important role. And for our next phase, we are looking for medical device investors for a round size over 5 million, cardiology connections for physicians that are innovative, that want to collaborate, and also health plans who can help us with our go-to-market. If you can help us in one of those 3 areas, please scan this QR code or send me an email. Thank you very much for supporting us, and we'll look forward to meeting you in person one day. Thank you.
Up next is a company taking noise cancellation to the next level. Here to tell us how denoise does this is Aman Jindal.
Hello, my name is Aman Jindal, founder and CEO of Denoise. At Denoise, we don't want to make this world a better place. We just want to make it a little bit quieter. Because you know what, when I come back home after a long day at work, all I want to do is peacefully eat my dinner, relax, and have a good night's sleep. But what do I get? The music from my neighbors who won't stop partying, the roads outside my house where the cars won't stop running, and these planes that shake my whole house up. I'm not the only one. Over 100 million Americans face the same problem every single day. In New York, there is a noise complaint every 4 minutes. And in Boston, these numbers have been increasing 32% year by year. Over 30 million Americans are suffering from hearing loss due to high exposure to noise. At Denoise, we have solved this problem by developing active noise cancelling headphones for your homes. Our system, which comes in a form of a kit, integrates on top of the glass windows, which can actively cancel to the outside noise coming into your house. We spend majority of our time indoors, and we control lighting, temperature, and ventilation to suit our needs. For sound, we don't have something like that. Not anymore. With Denoise, we can do that. We have tested and patented this technology and seen over 70% reduction in outdoor noise. With our technology, you can cancel out majority of the bad noises, but at the same time, you can let in the sound of nature. Think of rainfall or birds outside your house. You can also turn your windows into a speaker to enjoy music through Spotify or any other streaming services. And we tested this proposition with users around in the Netherlands, where 85% people are willing to pay for it. So far, we have set up collaboration with Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, who is also our launching customer, to insulate houses around the airport in the Netherlands. We've also been working with leading glass and window manufacturing companies to bring this technology to the market, with developing our network with local installers and residential and commercial traction along the way. We are a team of R&D people which are tech heavy, completely understand this technology. And we've been working hard for 4 years to bring this technology to the market. So far, we have raised about $2 million in investment to bring this technology, and we'll be opening a new fundraising round in Q3 this year. So if you want to connect and collaborate, let's do that and build the world a quieter place. Thank you.
What could be more important than a data center? Making sure we can build as many as we need. Here to introduce Cool Gradient is Jasper de Vries.
We need 2.5 times more data centers in the next few years to keep up with the global demand for data and the digitalization of our society. That will have a huge impact on the amount of energy needed to power those data centers, with an estimated 20% use of global energy supply by 2030. This is already a problem today, where no more data centers can be built due to energy scarcity. This goes for Ashburn, Virginia, the biggest data center hub in the world that's unable to hook up any new data center to the grid until 2026. But the same also goes to numerous other places around the globe. And then there are increasing legal pressures, with government mandates on energy efficiency, while no more than 20% of data centers comply with these upcoming mandates. My name is Jasper de Vries. I'm the CEO of Cool Gradient, and we've built a platform that increases data center energy efficiency by 40%, which makes them compliant with these new regulations for just 5% of the cost it would normally take. So imagine being Manuel. He's our customer and runs a data center in Switzerland. That means literally running around and changing set points manually by clicking buttons, adjusting bolts on hundreds of machines to ensure a site's reliability and uptime. He's really passionate about energy efficiency, but imagine the extra pressure to also ensure and improve in this complex environment. What about the CEO? This person is faced with serious growth and cost challenges. We simply take in any sensor data that's already available and use very specific AI to turn it into continuous optimizations for any data center, whether they have 150,000 sensors like a data center we have in Frankfurt, Germany, or a few thousand sensors from one of our data centers in Paris. We have examples of single optimizations saving as much energy per day as a household uses per year. So this is what Manuel sent us on LinkedIn after we implemented our platform for him. We're turning a challenge into an achievement. So do we for the CEO, the Senior Director of Sustainability, and dozens others. Our year-on-year growth has been 300% for 3 consecutive years. We have implemented the platform in 14 data centers today, which will grow to 40 by the year's end. To reach a 100 million ARR company, we target 400 data centers out of 8,000 global data centers today in 2 years. We're still bootstrapped, but we will be raising 25 million in the third quarter of 2023 to fully automate the platform and help us reach that number.
If you're just tuning in, or for those that need a little reminder, scan the QR code up on the screen to request an intro to one or more of the founders. You can also interact or ask questions directly in the chat under the live stream.
Our next pitch is from a company that provides true transparency on the sustainability of products. More on Dayrise from Austin Sims.
Hi everyone, I'm Austin from Dayrise, and we've developed intelligent software that can turn product information into environmental and social impact insight. Now this is Brian Cornell. He's the CEO of Target. He started using the Dayrise technology last year and he loves it. Let me tell you why. Brian, like many CEOs, has made a commitment for his company to become carbon neutral. Now Brian sells 1.5 million different types of products at Target. Do you know how many he knows the carbon footprint of? 0. And this is Brian's problem. The traditional way of measuring the impact of a product was done manually. You would hire a big consultancy group and they would send around some consultants to manually map your supply chain. It would normally take about 6 months per product and cost around $30,000 per product. Now Brian has 1.5 million products, and that's a $45 billion commitment. Clearly not something that Brian can do. So we set out to automate this process, to use software to do that and solve Brian's problems. Here's how it works. The first way is we create a direct data feed into our partners' backend to extract all their product information. Now that information is always imperfect. There is always fragmented or missing information about a particular product. And that's the first way that our product works. We've got intelligent software that can accurately fill in missing information in someone's supply chain to give them an accurate view of the product. This is very important to be able to give a precise impact measurement, even when there is missing information. So we then have a full picture of the product. We have a mix of primary and secondary data, the first way the technology works. Once we have that information, the second way the technology works is it turns all that information into robust impact information and serves that back to Brian and tells him where he should be investing his resources in order to get further in his journey towards net zero. A few numbers about our business. It took us 2 years to create our technology. It's a very insightful and difficult technology to build, and we had a team of 80 plus people working on it. There are 3 things that make our technology unique. The first one is it's fully automated, which is very important when working with companies the size of Target. The second one is it's future-proof. So we measure impact across many dimensions of sustainability, not just carbon. We measure carbon, biodiversity impact, water impact, and social impact. So as regulation changes, Brian doesn't need to change his software. And lastly, we can score any consumer product group. So whether it's health and beauty products, or fashion products, or food and beverage products, Brian can use one technology for all of his products in his store. And lastly, there's 500 million consumer products in the world, and we intend to score every single one of them. So we've been live since April last year when we launched our technology, and we found product market fit with large retailers and large brands such as the ones that you see on your screen. And we're actually starting to see traction with actually retailers introducing us to other retailers, as Target introduced us to Walmart recently because they want to use one software across both retailers. We already have 3 million in contracted revenue for 2023. Thanks for your time.
Imagine a world where 20-story buildings can produce the energy that they need just from their roof. Well, look no further. Let's hear how Ibis Power will get us there from Alexander Suma.
Hi, I'm Alexander Suma. I'm the CEO and founder of Ibis Power. medium and high-rise buildings are the biggest energy consumers in the city. And I came to know that when I was doing my PhD at the University of Miami, and I saw that on this very small surface, there's hundreds of people living, working, using energy. But all that energy is being produced from fossil fuels. So I made a calculation that the city of Miami uses 26 million tons of CO2 every year. That's a huge amount. So that is actually not the air that I want to breathe, and I thought this is not the way that we can keep moving forward. So I made it my mission to save 26 million tons of CO2 every year, as much as the city of Miami uses. Now, I'm an architect and a civil engineer, so I think in solutions. So I thought, what if we can put like a crown on a building that can produce all the energy that these buildings use? And after years of development, we made it, because this is PowerNest. PowerNest is a fully modular solution generating energy in a most enhanced way from wind and solar energy. And this building in the city of Eindhoven, with PowerNest, we produce 85% of this 20-story building, all the electricity. And it even looks very cool. Now, how does this work? So this is one of those modules. So we actually lift the roof space 16 feet. We go 3 feet over the facade, and we go over all the utilities. So we can really use all the roof space of the roof. We invented a way to capture the wind flow, accelerate it through a venturi, and the turbine produces 4 times more. And we use that same wind flow. We accelerate it also under these solar panels. They're constantly cooled and they produce 15% more. And lastly, we maximize the internal light reflection. So with a bifacial panel, we produce another 20 to 30% on the bottom surface. And that produces 10 times more than the conventional way of solar panels. Now, just to give you an example, this is a project in the city of New York, right on the JFK, and they installed 88 solar panels on these roofs. So that provides 7.5% of the building energy. But if they would have used PowerNest, we would have produced 14 times more at a 6 cents per kilowatt hour, 25 years secured, and they would have saved tons of local law 97 fees. Now, I thought Miami had a lot of high-rises, but New York, New England, that's really the area where they have only high-rises. So there are 25,000 buildings in this area where technically PowerNest is immediately applicable. We've installed 5 installations in the Netherlands. We have 12 in preparation. And we are a post-revenue company. We did 1 million last year. We're going towards 4 million this year. Half of that is already booked. But these were the numbers from January. So only recently, 3 months ago, we were featured by 2 bloggers, and our sales funnel went from 25 to 360 million. So this is a very exciting journey, and we're looking for investors to join us on that journey and who want to really make an impact in the urban environment. So if you know real estate owners, multinational corporates, Series A investors, or partners that we can work with, I would love to connect with you. Thank you.
Here to tell us how a single sheet of recyclable paper will revolutionize an industry is the founder of TAP, Niels Postma.
A massive amount of products are shipped through cold supply chains each and every day. But did you know that 5% of all those products are lost because there's something wrong with the temperature or humidity? So companies make use of data loggers to get insights in these shipping conditions. And they're used everywhere, from food to flowers and from pharma to vaccines. But the problem with these data loggers is that they're very difficult to access. You always need specific hardware and software to access the data, and they're very expensive. So they vary between $25 and $40, but we've seen them even more expensive. But the biggest problem with these data loggers is that they're being used only once, and then they're thrown away. And if you throw those things away, it becomes e-waste. And e-waste is the biggest challenge we face as humanity. Less than 15% of all e-waste is being recycled properly, and the rest is dumped, or worse, burned. So my name is Niels Postma, and I'm the founder of TAP, and we make paper smart by integrating chips, sensors, and printed batteries. And with that, we're able to measure temperature, humidity, shocks, and tilt. All you need to do to get the data out of the paper is tap it with your smartphone. Paper, unlike e-waste, is the most recycled material in the world. 80% of all paper is recycled in the proper way, and our paper blends right in, even with the technology inside. So our customers have access to that data through their dashboards, but we can connect our data with APIs to their systems as well. Each and every sheet is printed in a unique way, so we can print it with their languages, their logos, and in their colors. So we're here in the US because this is the market for us. The US is the biggest importer of products in the world, so we think that we have a very great momentum over here. Thank you very much.
Remember to scan the QR code on the screen to request an intro to one or more of the founders or send us a note in the chat. Up next is a real-world story of David and Goliath. More on how Room Raccoon is giving boutique hotels the competitive edge of a global chain from Nadia Buckenberger.
Hi, my name is Nadia, and I'm the co-founder of Room Raccoon Cloud Hotel Management. Let me tell you a story, my story. 8 years ago, I bought a boutique hotel, and it was beautiful. It was my dream. I even served coffee on a silver platter, but not always great, because do you want to know how I manage my bookings? Well, like this. It's crazy if you think about making a booking via Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb is super easy. But there's some back office to this. Those bookings need to be managed. Bigger chains, they have very expensive software to do so, but independent hoteliers are often not so fortunate. This needed to change, and we fixed this. We empower hoteliers. We empower hoteliers over the whole globe. We empower hoteliers like Jason in Cape Town, but we also empower hoteliers and people like Camille. In fact, people like all of us, because all of us are guests. And all of us expect a frictionless guest experience from the moment that we book until the moment that we are checking out. So right now, we are at 5.6 million AR. We have about 1,700 clients, and we are located with a local presence in 10 countries. And our team counts 105, how we call them, raccoons. But enough about the past, right? Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about our potential. The addressable market in the US only is about 260 million AR. But this is only the base subscription revenue. Wait, what? Yeah, we have a little ace up our sleeve, because we also process all the online and offline transactions of our hoteliers. We also know how to leverage on our existing customer base. So we have built a number of tools and functionalities that they can add to their base subscription. We actively nurture our customers. Why? Because it's quite easy to sell to a customer who is already highly engaged and trusts into your solution. Well, being bootstrapped has taught us to be disciplined and efficient. This is why we will reach the 10 million AR this year. So if you are an independent hotelier, or if you know somebody who is running an independent hotel and is struggling maybe a little bit with their solution, please come and find me.
What if we were in control of how brands market to us? Well, now we are, thanks to Wonderflow. Let's hear how they empower brands to listen to consumers from Ricardo Osti.
Hello everyone, I'm Ricardo Osti, CEO and founder of Wonderflow. Brands are no more in control of their revenue. 2/3 of purchase decisions are not determined anymore by the marketing, advertising, but by consumer reviews, by consumer feedback. So in this scenario, it's key that if a brand wants to stay competitive and win their markets, they really need to understand us, the consumers. So what's the problem? Take Philips, for example. They sell 6 million razors every year over 100 different distribution channels, and they collect about 2.5 million consumer feedback every year. It would take 45 years their insights team to analyze, just to read all this content. So it's just impossible for them to do that. And on top of it, there are over 300 million reviews on Amazon alone. And there are over 200 other relevant sources on top of Amazon. And on top of it, large enterprises, they have billions of private feedback collection from their users, such as what you get from the contact center, from surveys, and so on. So it's just impossible for them to make sense of it. Normally, they fail because they are unprepared to collect unstructured data. They have inaccurate analysis capabilities, generalistic analysis capabilities, or they have to rely to the unbearable time constraints of traditional market research. And even when they make a learning, that remains siloed within the team that has made them and is hardly shared throughout the organization. That's why we've created Wonderflow to give them instant access to consumer insights. Our technology aggregates and analyzes every kind of source of information from consumers, transforming those 45 years of readings into seconds and giving everyone the opportunity in the company to learn from the most important source they have, their customers. We know that quality in AI, in natural language processing, is directly proportional to the size of the data set that you use for trainings. This is why we started from building the largest data lake of customer feedback that exists, and as a consequence, our text analysis technology, our natural language processing, is by far the most accurate in the world. We deliver results in a very easy-to-use dashboard. It's considered the easiest to use of all by analysts, and through data visualization platforms that companies normally use. We have raised over $24 million. We have over 1,000 very sticky and happy users from the Fortune 500, and we have over 300 million verbatims under management today, more than Amazon. We are leading the customer experience management market, which is over $22 billion already and growing at a 15% year-on-year ratio. And interesting enough, the public feedback market, so the public side of it, it's almost a greenfield with no dominant players. Today we are growing our partners network with system integrators, data visualization companies, and databases. So we would really help. We would really love to have your help in growing these partners. Thank you so much.
A robot that cleans your room? Not quite, but it does make hospitals safer. More on Loop Robots from Mark van de Vrede.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark and I'm the co-founder of Loop Robots. And you may not know this, but 1 in 10 hospitalized patients worldwide gets infected by an antibiotic-resistant pathogen. Think about this for a second. When you go to a hospital, you want to get better, right? Well, at the same time, there's a 10% chance that you get infected by a bacteria, a virus, or a fungi that is resistant to antibiotic treatment. And you want to hear the worst part of this story? This problem is growing every day and at a rapid pace. Because more infections lead to more use of antibiotics and automatically leads to more resistance building from bacteria, viruses, and fungi. The World Health Organization calls this one of the biggest health threats of our time, a silent pandemic. For the US, this leads to 3 million infections, 72,000 deaths, and an economic burden of $45 billion. To prevent these infections, surface disinfection is very important because the hospital environment, so the bed or the room that the patient is in, accounts for 40% of these infections. So to prevent these infections, surface disinfection is important. However, this has not changed much in the last 50 years. It is still done manually with a microfiber cloth and chemicals, and it's not auditable, it's not repeatable, and it has a very low compliance to protocols. Let me introduce to you the future of disinfection, our very intelligent robot, SAM UVC. So SAM autonomously disinfects patient rooms, operating rooms, IC units with powerful UVC light based on our patent-pending technology. With SAM, we automate disinfection to make medical-grade sanitization faster, safer, and digitally auditable while reducing the use of chemicals. So with SAM, we enable hospitals to prevent human suffering and death. Next to that, we also save them a lot of costs. Costs related to hospital-acquired infections, outbreaks of pathogens, workforce, and the use of chemical disinfectants. So in 2030, the market size in Northwest Europe and in the US will be around $4 billion a year. We serve this market with our robot as a service model, which is best compared to a software as a service model, but then with a robot involved. So it's an operational lease, a subscription fee. So far, we started this company 2.5 years ago, and we are now the market leader in Europe. We have secured a 2 million seed investment round in 2021, and we have revenue. We have clinically validated SAM in hospitals in both Belgium and the Netherlands, and we have filed 3 key patents in the US. So in the coming year, we will grow our annual recurring revenue to $2 million, growing our active fleet to 80 robots. Next to that, we will also diversify to the pharmaceutical industry, because there's a very big opportunity in automating the disinfection processes in clean rooms as well. Early next year, so early 2024, we will raise a Series A investment round of $10 to $15 million for our market entry in the US. So if you're interested in hearing more about our story, or if you have any connections to hospitals or the pharmaceutical industry, or you're an investor in robotics, please reach out and I'll be happy to connect. Thank you very much for your time and hope to see you soon.
Our last pitch today is what we need to truly let go of fossil fuels. Hear just how Carbion will do this from Hans de Neve.
Hello, I'm Hans de Neve and I'm the founder and the CEO of Carbion. Carbion is a company that develops a new technology to capture CO2 from the atmosphere. Because guess what? Today, digging for fossil oil and gas, we emit up to 40 billion tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. And this does not remain without consequences. Climate is changing rapidly, and we need to do something about it. Fast forward to the future. This could be the future. Instead of harvesting carbon from fossil sources, we can harvest carbon from air. And with that carbon, we can make any fuel and any chemical we want. We can even store it underground, doing negative emissions. That's what we can do, harvest the sky. Because with green hydrogen and green CO2, any type of fuel can be made. Think of sustainable aviation fuels, fuels for long-haul transport. The whole chemical industry can be made renewable. Fossil needs to be basically out of the picture. Why is this not happening? It's not happening because in order to compete with fossil oil and gas, the cost of capturing CO2 from air needs to be as low as $100 per ton. And so far, nobody in the world has been able to figure out how to do that from a technology point of view. The reason why it's so expensive is actually in this picture. The technology is massive. It takes a huge amount of steel, a huge amount of chemicals to actually capture CO2 from air. We thought about this problem and we kind of made it small. We miniaturized the technology by making use of nanoscale technology. We made a device that is 50 times smaller than any of the existing technology, reducing the capex cost of this type of equipment as low as $50 per ton of CO2. This is how we did it. We actually used microelectronics technology to make it happen, to speed up the reaction of CO2 with the sorbent material that we developed. So it's a smart combination of microelectronics with traditional catalysis technology. It's been a journey, of course. I started with this journey in 2019, and soon we have been able to make a prototype out of it. And from that, we took it onwards, and guess what? Last year, we won the X Prize. The X Prize, which was financed by Elon Musk to stimulate the world thinking about better solutions for direct air capture. We were one of the 15 best awarded ideas receiving $1 million from Elon Musk. And that took us forward to today, where we have a prototype. And I'm here today to talk about a Series A round that should help us to upscale further this technology. Because what we need to do next is build a couple of these larger machines, put them out there in pilots with customers, and prepare that for mass scale. By 2030, we actually want to produce 50,000 of these units to help save the world. Do you want us to help save the world? Please do. Thank you.
That was it for us today. Thank you for joining. You can still request an intro to one or more of the founders by scanning the QR code on the screen.
Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned on our LinkedIn page for our upcoming programs.